I've been watching NASCAR for a pretty long time, okay? And I've always been a fan of Hendrick Motorsports. And to think that, in the year 2021 with a driver lineup of, well, first of all, I'm not expecting, but seeing Kyle Larson in the driver lineup, Alex Bowman, Chase Elliott, and William Byron, to see those four guys be able to do the 1, 2, 3, 4 and not a lineup of like a Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Mark Martin when they finished 1, 2, 3 in the championship, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. It kind of shows just how insane what they actually did today to finish 1, 2, 3, 4, and not just finish 1, 2, 3, 4, but basically for the last half of the race run 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a little bit insane and very impressive, but also kind of dumb that it even happened. How's it going, guys? Hopefully you're enjoying your Sunday. You guys are probably seeing this on Monday morning. Patreon, you guys, here's your shout out. You guys are seeing this Sunday night. So thank you for supporting the channel. And thank you everyone for, watching the videos. Let's talk about it. Let's get this off, right off the bat. There ain't a lot to talk about this race. There are no real highlights other than Kyle Busch pulling off basically a underfunded dream challenge, go literally be half a second slower down each straightaway and try to win the race. That's what he was doing for the first two stages. Unfortunately, it didn't really work out for him. But the fact that Kyle Busch could be, for over 200 laps, be down a cylinder or whatever was going on, valve spring, be 7 laps down and still finish 27th is a pretty indicting statement on the rest of the field. I mean, we have guys like Quinn Hoof, Josh Berry, Cody Ware, Garrett Smithley, James Davison, Josh Bilicki, who all finished below him. We have guys like Matt DiBenedetto, Michael McDowell, Corey LaJoie, Ryan Newman, who only finished a few laps ahead of him. Eric Jones and Christopher Bell, two of his teammates. Actually, Eric Jones is not a teammate anymore. Eric Jones is in 43, but Christopher Bell in 20 was only 3 laps ahead of him. We're talking about a driver who literally didn't have an engine for the first half of the race. So that's kind of crazy when I'm looking at the results. I mean, my God. And before we talk about Hendrick Motorsports, I will give a big shout out to Daniel Suarez in that 99 car. He finished 9th today. That's good. I'm proud of you, Daniel. I will admit I was a doubter. Okay, I'll admit. All right, guys, I was a doubter. I will admit that. I didn't think Daniel Suarez had the talent to make it to the Cup Series. Well, that Trackhouse Racing team and him are doing some pretty special stuff right now. I don't know exactly how fast that car is. It's a brand new team. We don't really know. But, I mean, top 10 is pretty good. He's beating out some SHR guys. He's beating out Bubba Wallace in the 23XI. Beating out some Penske guys. I mean, it's RCR guys. It's impressive. I'm not gonna lie. And this was a race that really showcased the speed of the cars because there wasn't a lot of passing, to say the least. So let's talk about that. Yeah, the race itself. I love Dover. Okay, but there was a and I'm not gonna touch on this too much because this isn't. Hopefully, this is not gonna be an issue next year and beyond. I think we're beating a dead horse here. We all know the car sucks. I think it was definitely showcased here. Dirty air was essentially something very odd today. Not a lot of people could run behind another car, so that was a little bit weird. And I wasn't really expecting it because I thought that wouldn't. I mean, previous Dover races haven't been that big of an issue, but especially towards the front with the Hendrick cars, it seemed like they were so equal that the track position, the dirty air did play a part in it. There wasn't one car that was outright faster than everyone else. We saw it for the entire pretty much second stage. Chase Elliott was less than a second, about half a second behind Kyle Larson the whole time and couldn't get to him to make a pass. Even going through lap traffic is when he would get close. So if I had to grade the race as a whole, it's not very good, right? Because how do you grade a race? I mean, to be honest, there wasn't a lot of passing. It was Larson had a lead, but I mean, let's put it this way: the race was won off pit road. As soon as Alex Bowman got the lead, I think restarts played a part in this. You restart first, and second place with the choose cone had to restart in the outside line behind you because the inside line wasn't going for some reason. Again, kind of weird from Dover. I don't expect those kind of things. It was a weird Dover race. It was definitely very subpar for Dover. So I don't really know what was going on. I definitely did not like what I saw today, but it's just NASCAR doesn't get the wrong idea. It's not because of horsepower or low downforce. It's not the case. I mean, you still like to see the guys slide around and drive the cars. well, to be fair, I mean, even if you had 550 horsepower, this race would be even worse. The car itself sucks, so it's just that simple. Well, hopefully going to next gen, it'll be better. But I don't want to hear any nonsense from these executives in suits and be like, oh man, this is why we want the 550 horsepower. You see, guys, we run downforce and put the low downforce on, and now no one can pass anyone, so it's so spread out, you know, man. It's just so spread out. Fourth place is finishing like 10 seconds back, so we want to make it closer, because closer is better, because I am a simplistic little mind, and if I make the field closer, it's better racing, okay? Those people are goddamn idiots, I'll tell you that right now. Those are the people that are like, they wait until the last second to take to study for an exam, and then on the exam they try to peek over to the student next to them, and they're like, hey, what's number 2? And they try basically cheating their way through the exam, they fail it. That's the same person as someone saying closer racing is better racing. It's the same thing. Same thing. You're just stupid for saying that. Anyways, yeah, I thought Kyle Larson was going to win this race because as soon as I saw Chase Elliott trail him for an entire stage, I was like, don't really know how that's going to get around him. And one indicting thing was that Elliott kept saying on the radio, or he was actually very quiet on the radio, but he kept saying on the radio, I don't know what I need. The car's really good. I don't know how to catch him. And when a driver such as Chase Elliott's caliber says that, that's when you start to worry a little bit, like, wait a minute. Okay, what's going on here? Why can't he run him down? It is the dirty air. It is, track position. It's all those kind of things. Hendrick cars are very equal. If you're not a Hendrick fan, I don't think you would have liked this race. Even as a Hendrick fan, seeing the 1, 2, 3, 4 is very special. That's very historic, but it does come at a sacrifice for this race because the race was not very entertaining. But this is a historic result. If off the top of my head, I can never remember a Hendrick Motorsports driver lineup pulling off a 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think they've done it. They did the 1, 2, 3 in the 97 500, but I don't think in my lifetime they've done the 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is definitely very special for Hendrick Motorsports. It's definitely special, and it means something because I watched this, Jeff Gordon's final year, and when Gordon left, and then Junior left, and then Jimmy left. That era from 2015 to 2019, I watched Hendrick Motorsports struggle a lot, and it really ticked me off because Hendrick Motorsports is a powerhouse, and I just, it's like watching I don't want to compare them to Ferrari. They're a lot more competent than Ferrari in F1. It's like when McLaren was struggling with Fernando Alonso a few years in F1. Like, you don't want to see them outside the points. You want to see McLaren, one of the best F1 teams ever, just be good. It's the same thing with Hendrick Motorsports, whether you like them or not. They have, for things to feel right, Hendrick Motorsports has to be doing well. And for those 4 years, they were not doing well. I mean, Jimmy Johnson won a championship in 2016, but it was an absolute fluke. He did not deserve that championship whatsoever. So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, that's really all I have to say about the race. It was one off pit road. There was a caution around 70, 60 to go. Alex Bowman's pit crew got him out in front, and that was it. There was no lead changes. There were no really battles on track for the lead. There were battles around the track, but it didn't. Not a lot kind of sufficed other than Brad Keselowski getting loose up, underneath another car like 3 times. It didn't really, not a lot of stuff happened. But I will say for Alex Bowman, that's a really good victory for him because I will openly admit I don't give Alex Bowman the credit that I give Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott. Now, I kind of defend myself there because I've seen Chase Elliott win a championship, and I've seen Chase Elliott carry Hendrick Motorsports when they weren't doing well. I haven't seen that yet from Alex Bowman, but he has 2 wins on the season. That's pretty good. He's only the second driver this year to have multiple wins behind Martin Truex Jr. As someone as dominant as Kyle Larson has been, Kyle Larson does not have multiple wins this season. He has multiple second-place finishes. He has a ton of laps led, but he does not have multiple wins. So Bowman is doing a good job. My whole thing about Hendrick Motorsports is usually when you have you had Gordon and Jimmy Johnson, and then you had that 1 year where it was Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, and Mark Martin, but never really all 4 cars run well. And this is the closest I've seen to Hendrick Motorsports actually having all 4 cars run well. Even when Joe Gibbs Racing was dominating with, Denny Hamlin and Truex and Kyle Busch, and when Matt Kenseth was still there, it wasn't all 4 cars always running well. Right now, Chase Elliott, he doesn't have a win, but he's basically running top 10. I think that team needs to be a little bit better, but he ran very good today. He was second the whole race. He was arguably one of the fastest cars, finished top 5. William Byron has a win. Alex Bowman has 2 wins. Kyle Larson undoubtedly has been the strongest car this year in the field. Most, like, they're just leading laps, should have won multiple races by now. I would put him and Truex neck to neck as being the strongest guys in the field this year. So this is one of the first times I've ever seen Hendrick Motorsports really be that good with all 4 cars. That's a little bit dangerous for the rest of the field. I mean, you can see SHR is completely nowhere to be seen with Kevin Harvick still struggling and the other 3 just, I don't know, floundering. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Joe Gibbs isn't at the dominating phase that they used to be, and Penske is still also not. They're not, well, I don't think Penske can ever really dominate with the 3-car team. I don't think they can ever really do that. It's usually between Gibbs and Hendrick. And right now, Hendrick, they're doing a really good job. I mean, we have Kyle. I feel like they have the 2 beasts and Kyle Larson and Truex leading the organizations right now. But Hendrick's 2, 3, and 4 are currently outperforming Joe Gibbs Racing's 2, 3, and 4. Actually, I don't know if you could say they're outperforming Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch. I don't know. They're very neck to neck. Okay, so it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the season goes. Other than that, I don't really have a lot to say. Is there anything else to say about the race? I don't think so. I will say that next week is COTA. So if you are a NASCAR fan and you didn't watch this race, or when you're somehow watching this video, or you just chose not to watch this one, please watch next week. I cannot wait to see a stock car at Circuit of the Americas. I think Circuit of the Americas is a really good road course for stock cars. I know it wasn't designed for stock cars, but just think about the layout. It has the S's. It has the heavy braking zone. It has the slow corners. It has the long straights. It has everything I love in a road course. I think Circuit of the Americas is one of the best tracks out there. And I think taking a stock car there can somehow, I don't know why, but it can give me a sense of Montreal for some reason. I think Montreal is the perfect stock car road course. The fact that we don't go there in the Cup Series pisses me off every single day when I think about it, or whenever it comes to my mind. But I hope COTA stays for a long time, because I think and I don't want to put pressure on next week's race, because I don't know if these guys are even going to have practice. So I don't know what the situation is there. Do they have practice next week? I think if we decide to start everyone at COTA for the first time with no practice, I mean, that's going to be, woo. That first lap is going to be interesting, to say the least. Tune in next week. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited for that. So we'll see who does well there. Obviously, expect the normal names of Martin Truex Jr. and Chase Elliott to probably be really, really good. But maybe there'll be a surprise. You never know. Take care of yourselves, guys. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the like button if you enjoy the video. And subscribe. Half of you who are watching the videos right now are not subscribed. I'm looking at the analytics. I'm not lying to you. Half of you are not subscribed. So please subscribe. It's just one click of a button. Thank you for everyone on the Patreon. Thank you for supporting the channel recently. And yeah, we're heading into the summer months. I'm heading into a few busy months myself. So it's going to be really interesting. Going to have a lot of fun. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day, whether it be Sunday or Monday. And peace out.